Match for the National TV Championship. One fall, a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first from Huntsville, Alabama, weighing in at 230 pounds, the National TV Champion, Bobby Eaton. His opponent from Tampa, Florida, weighing in at 229 pounds, the challenger, Steve Keirn.
Well, there you have the introductions. This is a TV title match. And in my opinion, it's great to have the TV championship settle on TV. Steve O, former TV champion who lost here just recently, controversially, I might add, Steve, to the same man who's now champion, Bobby Eaton. I want to get your opinion during this match because this is a very important one for Steve Keirn, for Eaton himself, and I think for you as well.
Well, you know, last week, Freddie Miller, I lost the TV championship to Bobby Eaton. Very controversial, as you say. I came out in an interview later on the show and asked the people to write in letters. Well, over 200 letters came in from Columbus, Ohio, Chattanooga, Tennessee, all over, saying that they did indeed see his foot on the ropes, but unfortunately, the third man in the ring, the most important one, the referee, did not. So Bobby Eaton remains a television champion, but whether he remains it today or not still seems to be the question.
Well, this Keirn looks like a man possessed. A body slam, and Eaton shook up back into the corner saying, what's going on here?
Well, you know, those body slams, they look just as devastating as they feel. They take a lot out of an opponent. They'll jar your spine, they'll jar your hips. You can land on your neck. They take a lot out of an opponent. From that position right there, Keirn can take control and do just whatever he wants, just about.
You're exactly right, Steve. Steve O is the Georgia Junior Heavyweight Wrestling Champion at one time there, and the fans were elated, and we were proud for you, Steve. You had 2 belts, and I know you'd like to get the other one back.
Well, yes, Freddie, you know, an athlete prides himself in winning championships. That's the only way you can get glory, otherwise with the money involved, too. But, you know, it takes a lot of dedication, a lot of working out, and finally things started to pay off. And 2 championships is mighty fine to have. Still being the Georgia Junior Heavyweight Champion is great, but you got to get that TV title back, too. See, Keirn right there.
That timing there was excellent by Keirn.
Keirn's using his head. He's staying one step ahead of Eaton. Eaton's trying to take advantage of moving the man around the ring, but Keirn was just too smart for him, and he, again, has control.
Yeah, the little leapfrog move, and then Eaton thought the pressure was off, and then suddenly an arm drag takedown, and Eaton working his way out of it, but didn't. And Keirn holds on and retains his side headlock and his head scissor there, which of course may take a lot of it may take its toll, tell its toll here on the champ.
Well, it sure does. You know, constant pressure in wrestling, you know, it's constant pressure all the time. The men may get a position where they can be in control to try to regain their breath, but all the time they're working to stay in control. And when you have to do that, you have a constant expansion of energy. And right now, you just got to try to conserve as much as you can. You got to know when to go and when not to go. Got to watch out for Eaton. It's a very dangerous position for Eaton right here.
Oh, yeah.
A little cheap shot out the ropes. He just grabs the head. Pulling the hair to
ref
take him
told him to break. Keirn broke clean, but Eaton took advantage of it. But look at this Keirn come back, and he's got him down on the mat again.
Once again, Freddie, he's just one step ahead of Eaton. It doesn't look like it's Eaton's day so far. Keirn's staying one step ahead. You know, Keirn's got a lot of experience. He's been a champion before. He knows what it feels like. And once you felt what it's like to be champion, Freddie, you want to feel like that all the time.
Now, Steve, you have just said to me what sports is all about. There is nothing that takes the place of making the top rung on the ladder of success in any walk of life. But in professional wrestling, getting those championship belts, that's what it's all about.
That's right, Freddie. And also being proud to represent the people, too. You know, the people come and they cheer you and they cheer you on, and they want you to keep the belt, and that's what keeps you driving on, Freddie, to know that what you're doing is worthwhile.
Well, I would say if this was being scored on points, which it won't be, unfortunately, for Steve Keirn if it goes the distance. It's a 15-minute TV time limit. But Keirn, I would say, is ahead on points.
Well, if the points counted, I'd say you were right. But unfortunately, professional wrestling, the points don't count. Most of the moves are designed in professional wrestling are designed to hurt you, to wear you down. Right now, I'd say Keirn has definitely had the most of the match in control, and most of the energy is being expended by Bobby Eaton. I think Bobby Eaton's beginning to feel a bit frustrated here. He might have to pull something out of his bag of tricks. Keirn's going to have to be ready for that.
You know, it's interesting. You're from Edina, Minnesota. Steve is from Florida, Steve Keirn. And Bobby Eaton's from Huntsville, Alabama. And we're getting representation all over from everywhere. And the response to our wrestlers coming here from everywhere has been really extraordinarily good. Oh, here's Eaton making his move, Steve.
There you go. Eaton found the opening. He finally found the opening he was looking for there. Now it's up to him to take advantage of that situation. It's up to Keirn to recover himself enough to get out of this predicament. I don't think Eaton's going to give him much time to rest, though. Right now, he's got to gather his head together. He's got to get his timing back and just get right back in this match. He's going to look for an opening right now.
You're right. Suddenly, Keirn's in a lot of trouble. Well, here's that. Yeah, but I mean, it's a submission hold, and he's asking him. Now, let's see. Steve, I know Steve doesn't want to give up. Well, that's a tough hold to get out of.
The pressure right here is right on the abdominal muscles. You stretch, you grab a hold of the leg there, and you grab a hold of the arm, and you twist them in different directions. It cuts off your breathing, and it's a very difficult hold to get out of because you have to use a lot of...
Look at the hip toss. He did it with a hip toss. A great counter move by Keirn, and Steve-O, aren't counter moves really the name of the game in wrestling?
Well, counter moves will get you to the finish, but you have to be able to pin the man. The pinning at the end is finally what you're looking for, but the counters will get you there a lot quicker.
Yeah. You know, at this moment now, this match suddenly took a turn. Eaton became the aggressor, began to make a tremendous comeback earlier in the match after Keirn had all the best of it early. And now it's Keirn who's been in trouble as Bobby Eaton's been applying the pressure.
Well, right here's a situation where Keirn might be willing to concede. Eaton has hold and control. He's going to try to regain his strength, regain his breathing, his timing, and try to think of the few moves to get ahead of Eaton.
Oh, he's battling his way out again, Steve.
Eaton had to use trunks there to gain control. That's just the kind of wrestler Bobby Eaton is.
This is a great match.
Well, so far for a television title match, it's an excellent match. I'd like to see Keirn come out a little bit better here. So far, Eaton's had a bit of the control lately. You got to wonder what Steve's thinking. I think if he can just get Bobby Eaton off his feet. There you go.
Well, he did it, but then Eaton again retained control of the hold.
It was a great counter hold by Eaton. You have to give him credit for being an outstanding athlete.
He's a good wrestler.
And wrestler. It's just that he might dip into his bag of tricks illegally behind the referee's back one too many times for me to like his style.
This is an exciting match, and I'll tell you, this is the kind of match the fans want to see. They love it. Here is Keirn back on his feet. Here's Eaton applying the pressure. Oh, man, and back he worked his way into the corner, and Nick Patrick calls for the break.
It's just a type of situation there where Eaton is in control. From the break there, he can get in a cheap shot, and he can break the count by the count of 4. 5's a disqualification. Each wrestler is just pounding each other.
Telling you, they're not holding back. They know that TV title's at stake. They know they want to win it here on national TV. Look at this Keirn now.
Keirn can fire back with the best of them. Keirn has got more drive and intestinal fortitude than most wrestlers. Most wrestlers have the one thing about their ego is that they don't want to quit. They don't want to lose. They want to be the best at all times. Oh, right on the neck.
Wow.
That'll jar you loose there, Freddie.
And Eaton is hurt. He's in agony. Here's Keirn. He's winded. They have been putting out so much effort. But Keirn, sensing maybe victory here, spins him into the ropes. And now look, hey.
He's got him in a submission hold here, Freddie.
He's asking, and Eaton doesn't want to give up either.
He's grabbing the hair.
Eaton put him over the hip toss, but he used the hair to do it, didn't he?
Yeah, but he broke by the count of 4, so there's not much a referee can do.
No. Well, that referee, that's a tough job in itself.
There's the suplex Saito used to use.
Yeah, you know. Got the count of 1. Eaton made the ropes.
Right now, Freddie, is a situation where most wrestlers get in every once in a while. They can feel the sense of the kill right now. Caught with that knee. He's had his foot on the ropes again. The referee caught him this time.
That rang a familiarity to you, didn't it, Steve-O?
Sure did. I'd hate to see him win it twice in a row.
He came off and missed, smashed his elbow.
Keirn's got to take advantage of this situation.
Here comes Steve Keirn now. Goes for the body slam. The backbreaker here, the shoulder breaker. Look.
Right on his shoulder. This could be it.
No.
Eaton instinctively kicking out.
Kicked out. Here's Keirn again. Whips him into the ropes.
The sleeper.
Oh, wow.
This could be it, Freddie. Eaton's going down. He's got a hold of the hair again. There goes Eaton. Over the top.
Threw him over the top rope.
Automatic disqualification.
Bell is run. Disqualified. Eaton. Winner of the match, Steve Keirn. Eaton threw him over the top rope. Automatic disqualification. See if we can get Steve over here a minute while you're with us, if you can, Steve, because I know he's Andre, they'll be here, but Tony Atlas, the Georgia champion, here.
I hear that Harley Race be doing a whole lot of jaw-jacking about things, and I hear that y'all got a video thing to show me on Harley Race. I want to
stand by, Tony. Here's what Harley Race had to say. They will hear your comments. Here's the world champion, Harley Race. Listen.
Atlas, right here on television. Right here in Atlanta, Georgia, not long ago, you stuck your nose in where it didn't belong. You tried to embarrass the world's heavyweight champion on television that goes nationwide. All you succeeded in doing, buddy, is making a man very angry. And you made Harley Race as mad as you can ever make him. I'm going to get even, Atlas. I'm going to take you in that Omni, and I've given you every opportunity that it takes to take this away from me. But when I get you there, buddy, if it takes going right there to get it done, here, no matter where it's at, and I want to prove it to you that I can stand the pain. Take a look right there. A little bit of blood ain't going to stop me. I'm coming after you, buddy, and I'm going to have you.
How about it, Tony?
Tell you one thing, I'm glad, Harley Race, that you can stand some pain. Now, you put Oni Anderson, you put Smirnoff, you put a whole lot of people against me trying to keep me from this title match. Now you got the Stomper coming against me. I'm going to whoop him later on, then I'm going to whip you for that belt, Harley Race. I got some pain for you.
All right. His opponent to enter the ring. Hear the music in the background. Making his way to the ring from Tennessee. Weighing in at 275 pounds, here he is, the Junkyard Dog. The Junkyard Dog, your referee, Ron Wick.
Obviously, he came here to Atlanta, Georgia with a mission, a purpose in mind. Here's a man who is a great athlete, a former pro football player, a great amateur wrestler, now a great pro wrestler. But there is a reason for your being here now.
Well, we're here today. I want the people all throughout the world to watch this piece of film that I brought in here. I wish, you know, they get together now and roll this thing.
Well, let me explain something first. I understand there were some certain stipulations regarding the particular match that took place.
Yes, you know, we had a Mid-South tag team title, Carson, Buck Robley, and myself against the Freebirds, and which I didn't know anything about the hair match. And if we lost the match, Carson, Buck Robley had to lose his hair, which I didn't know anything about. And during this time, our dressing room got ramshacked, and we had an article that was missing out of there, which we couldn't find, and later on, it was brought up.
Now then, I think that's the point that we really need to make abundantly clear, is that this article that was missing was critical to what happened to you.
Yes, it was very critical to me and my family. Hayes, Gordy, and anybody else in this area that want to sign their name on a contract, but I'm pointing this particularly to you, anywhere throughout the world. Oh! I'm ready, Daddy. 285 beautiful pounds. Let me tell you something, Mrs. Hayes. You cost me something. You cost Dog not to be able to see his baby girl when she was born. You cost me 3.5 months laid up into darkness. And now, Hayes, I'm on your trail. I smell you, Hayes. I smell you. And I know he's here.
Well, there's no question about the fact that he's here, and the fact is this was a hairspray or a hair cream that was, well, the only thing I can say is illegally used. There's no question about it.
We had a thing analyzed, and the guy said it was a mixture between hair remover that women use on their arms, I guess Mrs. Hayes used on her legs, and that magic shave powder.
Yeah, a depilatory, if you will. And so I'll tell you what, let's take a look right now. Let's journey to New Orleans and see exactly what the Junkyard Dog is talking about.
Well, this is a sold-out capacity crowd at the Superdome there in New Orleans. It was Carson, Buck Robley and myself against Michelle Hayes, Terry Gordy, and Buddy Roberts. And see, this is the thing I'm talking about. That container there, it belongs to Paul Orndorff.
Now, our dressing room Ram Shack, a lot of guys go over and exercise, get themselves loosened up before a match. And Paul Onoff couldn't find this thing, so we thought somebody had, he had misplaced and left at home, which was a Harry move that he was using against Keirn in the previous match that was taken out of his bag. And I don't know to this day how Hayes got a hold to it.
Well, obviously, of course, this is the very thing that eventually cost you your sight for a period of time.
Say for nearly 11 and a half weeks. See right here, we had the match pretty well on the hand. Colonel Buck Robley is a man with a lot of tactics. He's been teaching me a lot of things, and we had everything going our way. He's the other one big Gordon now. You can't take that from the guy. He's a tough and rugged young kid. And right down Colonel Buck Robley got the sleeper hold on him there. And I'll say right there we had the match. Everything was going our way.
All right, at this point in time, it did look like things were going well for you. However, with a combination of Terry Gordy, Buddy Roberts, and Michael Hayes against just the two of you, those odds then took their 10.
Yeah, but we was used to this type stuff, 3 against 2, because I had the power and the brain power, and I had the strength. Colonel Buck Robley was a man that taught me all the different tactics and stuff, and we put this thing together, and we had ourselves one hell of a team.
Well, obviously, that's very true, because it was written up nationwide, the combination of the Junkyard Dog and Colonel Buck Robley, and I think we're seeing tremendous ample evidence now of the type of combinations. A beautiful Russian leg sweep by the Junkyard Dog, which certainly indicates once again the tremendous capabilities of this man. Here's a dangerous posture.
The only part in the match that I thought we had lost the belt. He had Colonel Buck Robley pinned there, but you see there, he pulls him up. Keep him taking the 3 count, he pulls him up. He's trying to injure the man. Which at first this whole thing got started. Michael Hayes got power driven outside the ring, jammed up his neck. He threatened Colonel, said some way, somehow he was going to get even. But I didn't never think he was going to come to nothing like this. So I've been traveling around to 10 or 15 different states, trying to get title shots with Hayes, and he's been zigzagging in and out, and finally I located him in the state of Georgia. So that's why I came over.
There's that excellent right hand working extremely effectively against Terry Gordy. A beautiful body slam here, power slam.
It's showed all over right here. That's a thumper. There you go again. You got Buddy Roberts jumping off the top rope. Mrs. Hayes outside giving instruction, as she usually do. Mrs. Hayes, Michael Hayes.
See ya.
But I still thought that this time we had things pretty well situated. Here they double up on me. But I can take a lot of punishment. I work out every day, 285 pounds. I push the irons pretty good. And see that, they get on top now, which through the state of Louisiana, Mississippi. Here in the state of Georgia, you got 10 of the top contenders throughout the world located in these 3 areas.
Well, certainly no question about that, and we're beginning to see more and more evidence of this situation. Now that they've tired of the 2-on-1 situation, you duck under, catch him with a beautiful right hook, and make your tag, and Robley starts to move into the ring.
Robley's a very, very scientific type wrestler. But he got a lot of rough movement and stuff about him. The guy's a nut. That's why I like him, because I don't claim to have all my marbles up there myself. And that's what makes us such a good team. Neither one of us care about anything that goes on that ring outside of winning.
Well, of course, you say that. You say you don't have all your marbles. I think you're probably one of the brightest men that I've ever met in this professional ring.
Michelle Hayes, she split the ropes. That's the last thing I remember. I hit the floor, bumped into the ring pole, and I was out. So right there, Buck was on. He was 3-on-1 by himself.
He's facing a problem, of course, added with the additional bracelet he's wearing on the right arm, but now a 3-on-1, that's virtually impossible.
Yeah, but see, this is a no disqualification type match, and it's the anything goes. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to fight fire with fire. And just so happened I took a spill outside, which Michelle Hayes was the cause. I said he's the cause of everything that happened around here. He got the world on fire right now. A lot of animosity have came up throughout the nation right now due to the fact of Hayes. But right now he's rated as the #1 man.
That 3-on-1 situation is beginning to take its toll.
They hit him with that clothesline, and that usually take the win on anybody. And they had to got beat. But see, here's Hayes, that container again, which I didn't know anything about it. Later on, I asked the referee about it. I called him and asked President Freddie Miller about it. And, you know, we discovered things. We looked at the film over and over and see right there. That's why I thought you know, a lot of times the fans throw things into the ring. I thought it was some type of beer or something that somebody had threw into my eyes or threw into the ring, and it scattered, you know, it shot off in my face. Hey. There you go, Sweets. Let me tell you something. Don't come out here selling no wolf tickets. Don't sell no wolf tickets. Hey, I tell you right. I'm here. I'll take you on now. I don't care if you got your 3 tickets.
Nothing but me. Hold it now. Wait a minute. No, sir. No, sir. Now, we will not have that here. No, sir. We'll be back. We'll be back in a moment, please. We'll be back. A lot of talk recently regarding the situation with Robert Fuller and Ted DiBiase and the $15,000 and the $17,000 Lincoln Continental Town Car. Michael Hayes, who has never had a lack for things to say, has about 2 minutes and 40 seconds worth of things to say right now that I think bear paying attention to.
Welcome, shall we say, to Freebird Fantasia on location. Now, I guess the first thing in everybody's mind right now is they're wondering where are the other, shall we say, 2/3 of the fabulous Freebirds. Well, Buddy and Terry really felt that they had better things to do today than share part of their day with you, the viewing audience, and I couldn't agree more, but I thought I'd take it upon myself to come down and remind especially you, Robert Fuller and Ted DiBiase, about this nice Lincoln Continental that we now own. You know something? Wrestling is really funny. I mean, I think wrestlers are made up of egomaniacs, such as yourself, Robert Fuller. I think this is the whole reason why you've lost your car. If we could just, shall we say, regress and try to take a little stroll down memory lane and remember how this all started. You came into Georgia with a partner who you thought would, well, first of all, you could hide behind because he's big as a house, and everybody knows we're talking about the big fat Stan Frazier, and thought somebody that would bring you automatically up to prominence in the national wrestling scene, because Georgia Championship Wrestling is the premier wrestling group across the country. And nevertheless, you and Frazier proved to be no caliber of a team against the Freebirds, but yet you had to keep on trying. And then a man who many proclaimed as possibly the next future world champion, a man known for single matches, a man known for many single titles, Ted DiBiase, a man that knows us very well, had to stick his nose in it because he said, it's time to stop letting things and people like the Freebirds go on. It's time to quit turning your back. It's time to put your foot down and make a stop. Well, boy, what it was time to do was get on out. Now, the thing mostly in my mind, and the thing that I want to get down to, Robert Fuller, is I understand lately you guys have been talking to the Junkyard Dog of how to handle us. I want you to remember something, boy, and remember it real plainly. Georgia is what we own. We are the ones that control this place. And no matter what you do, and no matter what you put up or what you say, it will always be the Freebirds on top. Before I leave, I want you to remember something, and when you go to bed tonight, think about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this match will be one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing first from Outer Mongolia, weighing in at 270 pounds, the national heavyweight champion, the Mongolian Stomper. He's accompanied by his manager, Don Carson. His opponent from Roanoke, Virginia, weighing in at 250 pounds, the Georgia heavyweight champion, Mr. USA, Tony Atlas.
And here's a match that would sell out any building anywhere in the United States right now. Tony Atlas, Mr. USA, and the national heavyweight champion, the Mongolian Stomper, managed by Don Carson. One fall, a 10-minute time limit, and the Stomper outside the ring. Count of 8.
You put the giant in there so we can trim his limbs.
That was the voice of Don Carson saying, why don't you put the giant in there? I think that Mr. Stomper is going to have his hands full with Mr. USA, Tony Atlas, who is unleashing everything he's got. And so the Stomper has his problems right now outside the ring. Carson encouraging him, getting him back into the squared circle. Tony Atlas, a dedicated athlete, tremendous competitor. Atlas, chin jammed into that turnbuckle. Again, that chin jammed in there. Now a forearm across the back and another forearm. And so it is the Stomper now inflicting every bit of punishment that he can.
Gordon, we're going to take his belt just in about 30 seconds. We're going to get this man's belt right here.
I'll be very curious to see if it even goes 4 minutes. And now Tony Atlas explodes on the Stomper. Tony Atlas turning the tide of this battle right now. No, sir. Yep. The Stomper now moving effectively against Tony Atlas.
The guy using the finger in the eye. Now that's what they have to resort to, is those illegal tactics.
Those are the comments from Don Carson once again, which are completely erroneous. Tony Atlas tied. Wait a minute. Carson just continued to tie him up in those ropes. And that is the Stomper now. The referee calling for the bell. And the referee hurtled from the ring. And the Stomper continues to inflict more and more punishment on Tony Atlas, who's tied into those ring ropes. Another wrestler tried to break this thing up. Could not. Now here comes Jones, and Jones now caught in the Shinnomaki. Jones.
What do you think now, Gordon Sully?
Wait a minute. Andre the Giant just stepped over those top ropes. Andre the Giant now. And he and the Stomper are battling it out. Andre the Giant after the Mongolian Stomper. He's got him in the corner. He's got him in the corner and he's choking him down. Andre the Giant. And Don Carson trying to break this up. We've got more and more men coming out here. We're going to have to settle this situation. We're going to have to settle it in just a moment. We're going to have to get this ring cleared. Here comes Steve Keirn. Steve Keirn charging into the ring. And a host of others. We've got everybody in the ring at this particular time. We've got to get order restored. We'll be back. We'll be back in just a moment.
First at the Omni in Atlanta, match time is 8 p.m. And for the first time ever, the world heavyweight champion Harley Race must defend his world title against the challenge of Mr. USA Tony Atlas in a steel cage. The National Heavyweight Championship on the line. The Mongolian Stomper, managed by Don Carson, defends his title against the American Dream Dusty Rhodes. The National Tag Team Championship match. A Fantasia Gamble, 2 out of 3 falls. The fabulous Freebirds against Ted DiBiase, Robert Fuller, and the Junkyard Dog. Ole Anderson in a special event against Dick Slater. Kevin Sullivan against Steve Keirn in a special challenge match. There will be 2 other matches. Tickets on sale at the Omni, all seats locations, and the Sports Arena. Open next week, Monday through Friday, 9 till 5. See you Sunday, March 1st.